Good evening, everybody. This is me down here. I'm sure I'm a mess, but I had to get this done today for you. My name is April Demito, and I'm going to be your professor for the next 8 weeks as you move forward on your journey to become nurse practitioners in course 673, both sections 158 and 159 of advanced pathophysiology. So, I hope you all had a wonderful holiday and we're ready to hit the ground running as we begin this week. Now, the course content is, I like the way this course is laid out, where it pretty much explains step by step what the expectation is. And I think that as a student myself, I'm in the last third of my doctorate program, that it's helpful. So now this is my dashboard, and my dashboard, yours is going to look much different because these are all the courses that I'm teaching right now. And these are your two courses here. So, something that I do to try to help you, and it helps me also, is I make sure that the calendar is in place. So, I just finished setting up the calendar for the duration of the course. And so I'm going to click on the calendar. All right, now my calendar looks much busier than yours will because I have all of my coursework on it. And yours will only have the information for the course that you're currently in. And you can see that I have different colors for everything, and your colors are going to be either this pretty blue or this pretty teal color. So let's see. This is week 1. So I want to make sure that you have your introduction form due Thursday. And that's just a paragraph to tell me a little bit about yourself. It doesn't have to be crazy in depth or anything. And then we're going to have the case study due and the time estimate due on Sunday. Now, typically, you're going to see that throughout the class, I have most assignments due on Wednesday and then Sunday. But because of the new year and our coursework not starting until midweek, for me, it seems like midweek, I put that off for you a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the course and we'll go through what the expectations are in this first week. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the discussion groups are going to be run. I know that that's a point of interest for everybody. And in this course, they're rather large sections, but the way the course is laid out, I'll show you here. So this is an 8-week course. And when I click on week 1, which is this week, it explains step by step what the expectation is for this week. If it'll open up. There we go. So we have our devotion, and you can click on the link here. We have PowerPoint, video format, script format, and the objectives. Background reading, chapter 7 and 8. Required reading, chapter 9, 10, and 11. And then we have 12, 13, 14. We have a course introduction video, which I would strongly encourage you to view. And here we have case studies. Now, these case studies are different from what I've used in the past. So this will be a learning experience for me as well as you. They are video case studies. And here's our introduction and our week. They have this grouped in week 1 and 2 groups, 1, 2, and 3 discussion case study. So let's click on there. I have assigned the groups, and the groups will be the same for 2 weeks. So for week 1 and 2, it'll be the same people. In week 3 and 4, the same people. Then 5 and 6, the same people. 7, 8, the same people. I think it's good to have a mix. Now, Each group has been assigned a leader. That leader was assigned randomly by the computer, and it's going to be the leader's responsibility to make the assignments. So this is a group project. So I want you to go through step by step to ensure that you are fulfilling all of the requirements of the group project. And then you're going to post it here. Week 1 case study. So I'm opening that up. And so you're going to post it here. I would prefer that every member of the group post the document as though you did it on your own. So let's see, we have here are our groups. So for week 1, now I made the groups a little different between the two groups. They're the same, but they just look different. So in section 158, the way your groups are set up, it looks a little different than it does in 159. So here we have the discussion groups 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to open up this one. These are the members of the group. It doesn't look like a leader was assigned, so I'm going to have to look on that one and randomly assign a leader. Okay. And so there are 6 members of group 1, and I want you to, the leader, to facilitate, create a document that answers all of the objectives in that week 1 module. And then each member of the group is going to make a submission. The only reason I ask you to do this is because I can submit your grades a little easier that way. Okay. And this is a question here that is I'm answering that stuff now. Okay? So, that's what our expectation is here. We've got our syllabus here. And go through all of the material. I'm sure you're going to become very intimate with all of the material that we have here. And as you can see when you look at this timeline, that most assignments are going to be due on Wednesday. Okay? Now, you'll find that I make weekly announcements. Generally, it's in this format. I also communicate a great deal with my students. So if I see a pattern of behavior, I may make a video in the middle of the week because I want to clarify things. I like to keep myself accessible to students. So if you need to get in touch with me, the best way to communicate with me is through email. This is the worst way to communicate with me, through the announcements. So here someone has made a note on my announcement. Another way that's not good to communicate with me is through that area that says questions for the professor. And why do I say this? Because I am a nurse practitioner. I work in the clinic during the day, 3 days a week. And I really like to communicate back to you quickly. Being a student myself, I know that if you have a question, it's a burning question, and you really want the answer. So I have everything transferred onto my iPad and my iPhone. The problem is that If you try to communicate with me through questions for the instructor, or if you make a comment on the announcement, I can't see those things through my iPad and my iPhone. So if you have a question, please email me. If I have not responded to you within 2 hours, I want you to email me again. If I have not responded to that message, I would like you to text me. You can text me at 630-776-4821, and I will post that in um, the information section so that you have so you have access to it. I would like you to also be mindful that if you are texting me, to put your course number and your section number in the text, because I'm teaching currently 6 courses and I need to know what course you're referring to, what section you're referring to. It just makes it a little bit easier for me. Let's see, what else? Mm, that's all I can think of right now, but um, the one big thing I want you to be mindful of is that becoming a nurse practitioner is a huge responsibility. So you are right now in a transition from being an expert RN to now becoming a novice all over again in the realm of advanced practice nursing. This is an awesome responsibility that you are accepting, and I'm sure you're all going to be wonderful nurse practitioners. It comes with an enormous amount of responsibility, and you are learning a great deal of information in a very short period of time. So it's very important that you ensure that you have carved out time to be able to devote to your studies. I realize that many of you are managing work and school and families. And I must say, it's going to be very, very difficult to maintain a full time status at work and adequately become prepared in your coursework. So keep that in mind. Something is going to suffer, and it cannot be your education. Um, I am a stickler for formatting, so anything that you submit to me must be written in a professional manner using appropriate grammar and sentence structure. And I also expect you to present material that is at the postmaster's level, because that's where you're at essentially. Um, and gosh, that's all I can think about right now. But additionally, I would get into the habit of checking the announcement page every day, because sometimes I will think of something or someone will mention something to me that I think is important. So if you do not uh, check the announcement page and you miss something, that is, I'm not going to make an exception. So if something's happened and I make a change to an assignment and you didn't know about it, it's because you weren't being present. So I want to do everything that I can for you to be successful, but I also expect a high level of work from you all. So I look forward to working with you over these next 8 weeks. And as you enter the world of advanced practice nursing, and please don't hesitate to reach out if there's anything I can do to help you. Have a good night.